You've heard all about it. The big, bad working world. The place where they don't care that you're black. Where they don't care that you're a woman. Where the bottom line speaks before anything. Maybe you're even competent. Maybe you're great. But you have to be that much better just to be seen. How do we overcome the biases that are inherent in all our interactions? Today we are joined by Oyena Dyasi, CASA, and Christocentric financial analyst in consulting. We chat about the mindset and beliefs to beat the bias and overcome discrimination that may affect you in your career. We also chat about the pros and cons of audit articles, lessons from failing CTA and working part-time to fund her studies, learning to take ownership over your effort, what it took for her to be a SAICA global difference maker, value-centered leadership and how to become a value-centered leader, how she has approached mentorship in her career, and more. I hope you enjoy. My travelers on the road to CASA. Happy Women's Month. What an occasion. 9 August 1956. I'm not going to bore you with the basic history, which obviously you already know as a green and gold, and I guess green and gold because of the box, but green and red and blue, whatever the colors are of the South African flag, blooded South African you are. But I am going to share an interesting factoid of the occasion. So back in 56, 9 August, what was very interesting is that the organizers purposefully held the march of the 20,000 women outside the union buildings in Pretoria, the peaceful protest, on a Thursday, specifically because that was the day that many black domestic workers had off. The organizers, they chose this time because some of those who were increasingly affected and many of the participants in the protest were likely to be constrained at other moments. And so this strategic move, lesson in strategy for those who have started their strategy study on the curriculum, FBS or FinMan, whatever the code is for you, it actually resulted in the 20,000 woman turnout, right? The almost 20,000 woman turnout, which is a testament to the power of that solidarity, right? Strategic solidarity. We're not just haphazardly going to say, let's pitch up to wherever we're going to go. Let's pitch up to our careers. Let's pitch up to our missions, right? We are going to be intentional. I'm going to be strategic about, okay, how do we make sure that everyone who needs to get to wherever we're going, how do we make sure that they can get there? It's a great lesson, I think, for any leader. And I know you're all going to be leaders as aspiring CAs. So it's a great lesson for us. And I think for young South Africans in general. In any case, we have a incredible difference maker before us in this episode. A woman of power. This whole month is going to be women every single week, and you're going to love it. You're going to love her, who's coming up now, Oyena. With that, on to the episode. Welcome back, my people. This is the Road to CA podcast, the show for aspiring chartered accountants to inform, inspire, and empower the difference makers of tomorrow. Today, we're joined by a hashtag difference maker with a capital hashtag, might I add. She's a woman of power, guys, whose actions have continued to honor that SAICA creed of making a difference. I must say, she is a champion of that creed and a champion of the youth. She is a SAICA global difference maker, a 2023 SAICA trainee trailblazer, and founder of the Youth Professionals Hub. It's a community of young professionals where mentorship, professional seminars, and other support is provided and shared. Most importantly, though, she likes to read, she likes to run, and have coffee dates with her friends in her spare time. She is a third-year trainee at BDO, soon signing off as a CASA in 2025. Yes. Having passed all of her boards, she's an inspiration. She's a young leader. We are joined by Oyena Dyasi. Oyena, how are you?
Oh my goodness, that was heavy. Did I give you all of that? I don't remember. That introduction was quite heavy.
Here's the problem, right? You're the one who was boxing for all of these accolades. So it's like, if they're heavy, then you obviously have the strength to hold them.
Oh my God, nah. I feel like you're introducing someone else and I'm not in the room. Yeah, nice to be here. Thank you.
You gave me about half the stuff. I had to go and dig for...
Because I'm like, where are you getting all of this stuff
Maybe
from?
3/4. I had to dig for the rest.
That was a lot of work. You're truly an auditor. To be.
That's one of the skills that I think is underrated that I think we should really hone in on. The fact that when you are a finance professional, you are able to pay attention to detail
100%.
and you're able to do your research.
100%.
You know?
Yeah. Like now in my third year, it's wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's only now that I'm seeing the bigger picture of everything that I do.
Sure, yeah.
And now that I understand, I'm actually able to do my work even better than I used to. First year, I'm rolling forward working papers from prior year. I didn't care where everything coming from, and even mistakes, I'd overlook them because I didn't understand what I was doing in essence. So now that you know and you can use your mind to think, it's just, it makes everything so exciting. You know, I don't know if I told you this, but I know like auditing wasn't my first choice, neither my favorite thing to do, but at a bigger scale now, the skills that it comes with, oh my goodness, it's heavy. And if you can hone into the skills that audit comes with, just take a step back from the industry itself. It's quite intense, the deadline and everything like that. But if you hone into the skill that it gives you, you're good to go.
You know what, before we go back, we usually go back at the beginning. I want to actually zone into your experience in audit. You have been part of the valuation side of auditing. I don't think most people who think of audit think, I'm going to do some valuations. I'm going to be checking out whether the financial instruments were valued correctly and things like that.
Yeah.
Can you just walk me through some of your experience there?
That is a different experience, hey, to just also give you insight. Not all trainees have that experience.
Yeah,
so there are two sort of things. I'm an auditor in FS, which means I audit financial service entities, your banks, investments, income, what you call this?
Is insurance there as well?
Insurance as well. So you have your asset management and everything financial service. And then there's now a specialist group where it audits financial instruments and also prepares it, right? So for the first time, you get a valuation done by Standard Bank. And you're like, why am I going to audit Standard Bank? You know what I mean? And I think that is where the skill to then understand IFRS 9. If you don't understand or love IFRS 9, you're probably going to take the credibility that Standard Bank has and you're going to be like, no, Standard Bank is
they're
okay.
good. It's Standard Bank, guys.
I mean, what do you mean? You know, and it was so fun this other time where we had to send back a difference to Standard Bank. You know?
No, you feel like the man there, hey?
We're in it.
Yeah.
You're like, there's no way. Where did you get these values? Because you're thinking they have specialists, you know, they have access to the market values and inputs. There's no way they're going to get a valuation wrong. And you're like, put your hat on. Where did you get this? Is this reasonable for this interest swap, for example? Is it reasonable for this FEC?
Yeah.
And then you're like, consider changing. So it's really been a great experience for me. Because you also take your auditing experience to that space. And if you know how to audit something, it gives you insight on how to prepare the valuation. Because your hat is already putting on an auditor's hat. an auditor is going to ask for A, B, C.
Yes.
So you prepare it from that perspective. So that's why I'm saying auditing is, if we could work on the industry and the nitty-gritty of fixing those things that makes people don't love it, it would be a killer. Because if you're auditing a bank, you go work for a bank, your mindset is different. Because you know what an auditor is going to look for. Is this process going well? Are there sufficient controls here to ensure fraud doesn't take place, for example? So it's just, that's why now, even for an internal auditor position, they want external auditors, because you're coming in here with an external audit mind, but you're going to fix the processes inside.
Sure.
It's a charm. It's just unfortunate that it lack of a better word, it has become not so good in terms of preferred choices for trainees or even post-trainees.
Why do you think?
It's the deadlines. I mean, we work for the audit fee. Do you know what I mean? So the amount of hours we put determines the profit and recoverability of what we do, which in essence talks about the revenue as a whole for the firm. There's resources, right? Not too many people now have their CTA or are doing their CTA, so there's less. I don't know what's going on in the universities. It's like they're keeping all the students to themselves, because now training firms are struggling to get trainees. And if there's less trainees on the ground, but there's more entities that needs to be audited, then it means less trainees have to do more work. You know, and there's always those interests of keeping the client. So if you want to keep the client, and there's that risk around objectivity, because you brought the client to audit it, but you still want to keep it. So if we need to make sure we tread carefully around your client, which talks a lot about then your values and SAICA's CPCs.
Yeah, like I'm even just thinking about back to the valuation aspect. I don't think when you think auditing, you're going to be applying your IFRS 9. You're not thinking IFRS 9. No. It's like, especially in undergrad, you're not thinking, okay, I'm going to be applying this. I'm going to be using this. What other topics other than IFRS 9 have you been directly applying?
In terms of the IFRS standard or ISA?
In terms of what you learned in your studies.
Perhaps because when I was studying, I really didn't go into the details. And I think that's why I did CTA twice. I was just shallow. I was just cramming so that I could pass. I didn't want to understand, because I was like, they're going to teach me when I get to work. You know what I mean? So I didn't care a bit. So because I didn't even understand the standard and the requirements while I was studying, when I started working, it was like so fresh for me, because it was just a theory thing. You're given a scenario, just apply. I just remembered a solution paper, and I'm just putting everything. I'm like, I hope they find the right mark somewhere, you know? But it's really it's been interesting. I've touched almost all the standards when I'm working. You know, if it's 15, if it's 10, it's so nice when an entity buys a portion of share, and then they realize that they've actually consolidated it in an incorrect manner. And because now you know what consolidation looks like, which journals should be eliminated. And it's been such an experience. But back then I was like, I hate consolidation. The whole process of it. But now I get to audit it, you know? And we have a CFO who's so adamant about his valuations. You know, there's accounting estimates where there's significant judgment. They decide what are the cash flows that's going to happen in the future, recoverability amount, fair value amount. So you need to question the assumptions. And you can't question something if you don't know the standard that governs their thought. You know, so you need to get into the nitty-gritty. Okay, the standard allows you to actually elect this option and this option. So they're not entirely wrong. So that you need to have that really. I'd always go back to students who are still studying. Just understand what you're doing. It may not fit in perfectly because each firm has its own methodology in terms of guidance and how to audit, but the crux never change. IFRS is IFRS. Period.
Okay, now we have to go back.
We're going deep.
We're gonna go back, but I really appreciate what you've given us here. Where did it start for you? In fact, let's start. I remember we're gonna go even further back potentially, but I remember you were 12 years old.
Oh, yeah.
You were 12 years old. and your parents
What
decided to just
happened?
drop you
Who told
and
you those
leave
news?
you. I do my research,
Wow, that was deep.
I do my research. So let's start from there and let's chronicle up to where the whole CA thing began for you.
Yeah, I mean, when my parents sent me to Durban at 12,
Sure.
I was like, do you guys have something against me? Am I a biological child in this house?
Hey.
So I really come from a home that is so loving and supportive. Like my dad, superstar. Like he would give me compliments to the T. That's why I don't struggle with compliments now. Because that man literally, in the smallest thing that I would do, he'd compliment me. So I gained confidence in the things that I do from a young age. I loved maths. And then I was like, okay, I love maths. I'll either be an accountant or a doctor. Grade 10, I was set in stone, I want to be a doctor. I'll tell you why. Mainly because of the hype it comes with. Not because I love, what they do. But I was like, imagine being a doctor and they call me Dr. Oyena. Grade 11, I was like, nah, I don't love blood. Let me not lie to myself.
You did the vacation work.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
I was like, oh, no, nah, the hours, the call hours, no,
Eish.
actually. And when I saw my family members being sick and the pressure we have on doctors, I was like, no, thank you. But I still was given a bursary to do chemical engineering because I passed physics well and I passed accounting well. And when I got the bursary, my mom was like, dude, we have the money to fund you. Why fuss about accounting? And at that time, I didn't have an accounting bursary. And I was like, yo, God is going to make a plan because there's absolutely no way I'm going to be an engineer anyway in my life. I really love it. I just passed physics. And many people, I diverted, but just hold me on that. Okay. And many people love the subject and think that's what they should do, and it's convenient at that time. After loving it, I'm like, okay, varsity, I'll be an accountant. Have no idea about what CAs are. Oh, CAs. There's no CA at home. Yeah. I'm like, accounting. Let me just go do accounting. I passed it. Got to varsity first year, second year. They're like, actually, there's chartered accountant. I'm like, oh, what? Because there was like the other class had a stream of CAs. We were just like general like accounting. Ooh. I'm like, what do you mean? We are different? They're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, what is the CA all about? And then I got to know about it. They're like, you have to do an extra year between course before you go to CTA. Yeah. I was like, fall in love with this whole concept of being a chartered accountant. And then I'm like, okay, I'm here now. But when I knew that there was so much more beyond the degree, I was like, damn, it's a journey. But I didn't have any other plan B, going back to that topic. But I was like, okay, let's do this accounting thing. And when I heard that it's not really a role, but it's a designation that allows you to pivot anyway. That was the selling point for me. Because I knew for a fact that I can't sit and do one thing my entire life. I need the flexibility of tapping into other areas as well. And it allows me.
And you mentioned the plan B idea. Just for those who don't know, it's from a book called The Diary of a CEO by Stephen Bartlett. What a book.
Yeah,
and
solid.
One of the laws, so it's The Diary of a CEO, 33 Laws of Business and Life, is you must become a plan A thinker.
Absolutely.
And I guess you were a plan A thinker in this
100%.
case because you didn't have the plan B. And it's apparently been scientifically proven that having a plan B will stifle your ambition and your creativity
100%.
in plan A.
100%.
So that's the problem with it, but it's not bad to have a plan B. I think it's just about the way you treat your plan A. Are you treating it like I've got a plan B?
Yeah.
If you treat it like you've got a plan B, then you're doing it wrong.
Sure.
And there was no need in having the plan.
Sure.
Let
me tell you with that, in our last year of CTA, first year failed, we'll get there, right? Second year, still failing. You're like, damn. And UJ only gives you 2 attempts, right? And now the lecturers are going to tell you guys, prepare for anything. These are the applications to UNISA, these applications to MOPAC, IAS. So now you're also trying to, and all my friends, they prepared that. I didn't send an application to UNISA. My friends applied to UNISA, they applied to MOPAC. And they calculated their entry marks. I didn't. I was like, I don't care if I'm going in with a 20. I got a chance. I'm going to give it my all. And I'll tell you, because they had that mindset that, okay, if this is my last year at UJ, if it doesn't work out, I'll go to UNISA or I'll go to Mopark. You rest a bit. But the fact that I knew I didn't apply anywhere else, my other option was either passing or going back home. Because why am I going to start applying at the beginning of the year? I diligently and intentionally did not apply because I was like, there's no way. This thing doesn't bite, it needs you to study. Period. And even going there knowing that you had 30%, it's gonna defeat you. You haven't had 70 throughout the whole year. You're like, what is the possibility of passing this thing? And mentally I'd calculate, but I wouldn't go into the numbers because I'm like, I'm getting 30s, 40s. The only thing I was passing was tax. I was like, what are the chances? But there were chances. Even if it was 1%, there was a chance. So going back just to emphasize on plan B is not bad entirely. It just depends on how you look at it. Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. And I postulate that it was because you came from a home, your father complimented you.
Yeah.
There's something about that because I think many of us operate from a place of less than, from inside. It's deep. It's deeper than just, oh shucks, I'm getting 30. It's like I'm getting 30 and I am my marks. That's all I've had. Beyond my marks, what do I have?
Sure. I'm actually triggered by this thing that you're sharing currently. When are you going to release this episode before I share the story?
When we do.
So currently, what you call AICs, right? It's auditor in charge as you get into your third year.
Oh, yes.
You run the audit.
Yes.
Currently running this audit with this other guy. So we're doing so well. Working together. I finally roll off and then starting corporate finance this week with secondment. But it came to my attention last week, yesterday, that I am doing too much in terms of leading the team. I'm leading a lot. I'm like, what do you even mean I'm leading a lot? We're sharing responsibilities, right? I want to emphasize a lot more about how people perceive themselves. I have no desire to put the AIC title on myself that will cause value. I'm valuable without the AIC because I function as an AIC. I was like, dude, we're working well together. Take the title. Let it be you known as the AIC because it doesn't come with value to me. It's what I do and who I am that ensures that I'm valuable. So if you have not worked inside enough of how you see yourself, you struggle a lot with how you see other people seeing themselves. And it's a thing in corporate because now I need to play the responsibility, which I don't have, the duty of diminishing myself so that you see yourself. Because in essence, that's what it looks like. Okay, calm down. The manager is asking too much of you. They're asking you to lead this and you're just taking it, you're not sharing it with me. They're asking you to do that. You're shining too much. Relax. And no one has the responsibility of seeing yourself the way you should see yourself. So you can't call other people to lower it down so that your light just shine.
Or you can't actually force people to see you. Even it's unfortunate. That's the world we live in. You can't. I mean, I think just on the individual level, there is some level that you need, obviously, to lift yourself up.
Yeah.
Because now, if we look on the societal level, and I think I haven't spoken about this yet, but if we look on the societal level, right, it's important that the powers that be aren't discriminatory.
Okay.
Right? It's important that they aren't.
Yeah.
But on your level right now, how do you derive power from the idea that because I'm a woman, because I'm black, because of X, because of Y, because I'm tall, because I'm short, because I'm this, because I'm that, I am not able to be seen.
Oh God.
I can't get these opportunities, all those things. If you on the individual level are going to believe that, you have no power.
Sure.
Right?
So good.
But now on the societal level, it's so important that we do have less discrimination, that we do have inclusion, we do have equality. But today there's no equality.
Yeah.
So now what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You know?
They call me ignorant at work because I don't want to see colors. I don't want to see gender. They're like, no, it's there. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do about it? I can't wake up every day knowing that I'm less than, like you say. If I'm being compared to a male white, then I already know by default that I won't make it. Like, I can't, don't bring the argument of the color. Even if you're rating my performance, just stay away from color. Rate me based on my competencies. Because a lot of people carry that weight. They go in there, even if they don't perform well, they're like, they chose him because he's white. They chose him because he's a male. He does things better. You can't carry that with you. You're already halfway defeated. Because you're going to get in a space where there's another fellow white or another fellow black, and you're also black. And if they excel, what is going to be your excuse?
What's the excuse now? He went to this school.
Exactly. He has a better accent than I do. You're constantly finding an excuse besides you putting in the work to be a better person. Like, let me tell you, the fact of the matter, it can be there. And you can be wise enough to see, there's a bit of biasness here. But if you overlook a bit of that, it will enable you to actually perform well. And if it's really so bad, and it's bad, you have an opportunity to step out of the situation. There's those fights, like system fights, that you don't want to engage on. Like, your strength and power can't be used into fixing the system.
Yeah.
It's too much of a pain.
Yeah.
You're not saying people who are victim of those things, they are not validated, but take a step back. Do you want to be validated because you're female and you're black? Do you want to be validated because you come from Eastern Cape? You have not been exposed to so many things, so you should be given a better space than anybody else? You wouldn't want to be on the top because they did you favor. You wouldn't be confident. You don't want to be like, because of BE, they put me there. No ways. Literally no ways.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to CTA.
Yeah. My favorite year.
Let's go there. So I know I know lots of people. For me, my year that defined me, shook me, was my third year last year. For my brother, it was his CTA year, his second attempt. No, his first attempt. It was his COVID year. What was yours like, your CTA year?
Because what was with COVID? Because also my first attempt was the COVID year.
It was the COVID year.
But every time I share the story a lot because I get asked about it a lot. I will dare not blame COVID. For sure, without a doubt. Yes, there were inconveniences that came with, like, switching to virtual learning, hybrid approach. But I would dare not say I failed because of COVID. When I look back, I gave my best. I studied. It was really those nitty-gritty aspects that I couldn't grasp at that time. Going back to what I said earlier on, I really didn't go into the depth of my knowledge, my CTA knowledge. I was like, let's cram. We've been cramming. Let's move on. And then CTA was like, it doesn't work like that. Because now it's integrated. You can't cram things in silos. You can't cram the entire thing now in this integration. It's like, or you don't know it. Because how are you going to pick it up that, it's actually finance in accounting. I need to apply my accounting, this financial valuation. What's going on now? I actually need accounting to apply my audit. How do you audit if it's IFRS 5? Did they actually put it as an IFRS? You need to know the standard before you actually audit the procedures. So it was just, but I mean, failing that year was tough for me. As a believing person, I felt like God, had a beef with me and he was proving who has power because I prayed, I fasted, I sought for help, and he was like, not now. And when I look in hindsight, I'm like, thank you.
He gave you exactly what you needed,
bro. I'm like, thank you. If I knew I was not going to cry and not pray for a month back then, I was probably just going to be like, okay, I think I get you. And then now I need to start again, second attempt. I think that was also tough because my mom was like, yo, dude, I can't do this with you anymore. Can't pay your fees. This journey is quite long. You've been studying, hey? And now you have a degree. Go find a job. I'm like, damn, mom. Now I'm dealing with failure. You're telling me.
And now I must also subsidize.
I mean, it's Jan. I'm still needing to look back at those lectures. I'm going back to UJ, be less, see less. Oh my God. And I told, everybody had faith that I'd passed. I was so frustrated in that process. They're like, oh, you're so smart, you passed. Now I need to go back to those people. I'm like, guys, actually. So there's so many things that's weighing on me.
Yeah.
People's expectation of me is weighing on me. I need to explain myself that, guys, actually. Because I was really starting, work, I'm working girl. I was looking forward to that. And that was disrupted completely. Had to go move to Pretoria. I'm studying at UJ, by the way.
Sure.
Now I'm staying at a friend for 2 to 3 months. Yo. I'm looking for a job. Remember, finally found a job and I moved back to Joburg.
What type of job?
Audit.
Oh wow! At least you get to apply, Nyana.
The pressure, though, one of the big 4 firms, imagine working there, but it was audit support. So I'm supporting all the CAs. I'm supporting the trainees, more of a admin support.
Okay.
So I don't go into the file and do the judgmental thing. I'll prepare reports. I'll roll forward engagement letters, so forth and so on.
Okay.
I'm doing that 8 to 5. You know what they did in September? They said I must go to PE office in my exam period. I was like, there is a syndicate here working against me. It has been planned and it's going to prevail because what's going on?
Yo.
Sure, dude. And then I was like, okay, sure. Took my bags, a bus again. No flight. Go to PE, settle that side. I'm writing now at UJ, take a bus again, write in the morning when I arrive, and then have to go back to PE. That's why I was like, you didn't pass when you were full-time. Now you're working full-time. You think there are chances? Could have just quit.
Yeah.
But I didn't see myself as anything else but a CA now. And I was like, what am I going to do? And my mom was like, you can come back home. I'm like, no, damn not. We're finishing what we started. So finished what I started and eventually actually passed.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that was a journey. Burnout was horrible. Couldn't wake up the whole December. It was bad.
ITC?
I passed. I didn't study for ITC.
You couldn't. At that time, you
Dude,
couldn't,
literally couldn't study for ITC. Came back. I'm still working by that time, and I'm only resigning in Jan. And they're also asking me to stay. But I'm like, guys, I know you. I've seen the culture. And I don't think I'm going to thrive in this environment. I'm leaving. They're like, we're going to pay for your fees. We're going to... Please. I was like, no, thank you. And I had so many offers at that time. I was like, I know what I want. And I know at a place where I'm going to thrive and it's not here. I don't want to just be a number and be like some cheap labor that just does the background work. And then 2 days before ITC, I'm handing over my laptop. I've resigned my, what you call this thing after you've resigned, that period. I'm finishing off that period.
Probation? No, not probation. That's a jail thing.
Yeah.
Notice.
Exactly.
Yep.
Notice is coming to an end. And then moving to a new place, it was a mess. It was like, oh God, I already knew that I'd failed ITC. My friends talked me out of it. I was like, I didn't study. And when I passed, it was like shocking. Shocking for me.
Look, the thing is, ITC, from what I hear, is largely CTA.
Absolutely.
Like, how did you work in CTA?
No, absolutely.
No, that's how you perform.
Key. So that's what I'm saying. If you take CTA lightly and by chance you pass, it's going to catch up with you.
Yeah.
Life is going to catch up with you. If we rob the system, it is going to catch up with us.
It is the way that they say... This one is technically competent.
And
so if you can't pass ITC, it means that all this time you were doing nonsense. That's essentially what it means. All this time you weren't actually understanding
100%.
the topics.
No, true. That's 100% true. Sure. Yeah, it's been a journey. Yeah, it's been a journey.
Okay. So you are a SAICA global difference maker. Tell us, what is that?
What is that? I still get asked about that a lot. So what happened is last year, 2023, as normal, I was busy on YouTube a lot last year because it was my full year having done YouTube. And then SAICA knocks on my door on LinkedIn. I thought it was a scam. I'm like, why is SAICA DMing me?
Not
I'm
SAICA.
like,
No,
not SAICA.
No.
I'm like, hi, we have this youth initiative that we're doing. Can you be part of it? We saw your YouTube video. where you were talking about financial literacy, buying a car and an apartment on your training salary. So that was the particular video that they saw.
Okay.
They're like, we actually like that.
How did you manage that? You're planning, eh?
You must be here.
No, I'll link that in the show notes. People need to know, guys, you can make moves with that salary.
You know
with
what
the
I mean?
salary.
You can, yeah. And if you want to sleep drinking water, sure, yeah, you can. Don't try it at home. It's not safe. Anyway, and then they're like, let's do this. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then started doing that. And then they're like, oh, we love you. I'm like, oh, nice. And then I was nominated for the SAICA Training Trailblazer. I was like, what am I doing? Just a YouTuber. But they like that I give insight, you know? I'm like, oh, sure. Applied for, I actually got into the nomination process, and then I didn't even pay attention to it. And then they tell me I'm a finalist. I'm like, oh, great, what does that mean? And now I get to know more about SAICA, also what they do. So, and then also that brought attention to me, I think. And I mean, on LinkedIn, I'm sharing all of these experiences and milestones. And then the following year, they're like, we're going to do it again this year. And then they're like, actually, we're going to issue you an ambassador later, March. And so they're like, hey, like your work, we like what you do. We'd like to welcome you officially as a Defense Maker ambassador. I was like, oh, actually, it's nice. I get the perks. Like I was telling my friend, I'm like, August, my groceries was just funded by SAICA.
Sure.
So, you know, so I get, it just took you being you. And I didn't even know that there was going to be this privilege that came with waking up and share my journey as a trainee. You know, someone was asking in a SAICA 35 under 35 event last week, the other week actually, what does it take? They were asking the winner. What did it take for you to be a winner in 2022? The lady was like, it took me doing what I do well, and it found me doing that. I wasn't doing it so that I could be SAICA's 35 under 35. I was like, brilliant. Like, if people could get it, what you're doing is not because you want to be recognized and get the accolade. Do what you do and you love, and everything else is gonna find you there. If you're doing it because now, okay, the winner did that, let me actually try. The winner did that, let me. You know, the winner from last year, you know, I know a lot of people didn't think he was gonna win. He's literally just an HOD. He was actually not an HOD back then, but he's in the accounting space in WUSU, a lecturer there.
Oh, yeah.
He does that and helps students, and also open his own firm. And the students that come from WUSU go train in that firm. It's like 10 trainees or something. But you're like the heart of just wanting to serve. The judges were like, I don't want anything else. You know, you could think, it takes to be a CFO to actually be a young under 35. But they will see it in you. Are you passionate about what you're doing? What drives you? Or you just want to be, okay, they see what I'm doing.
It gets into, so this book that I read earlier this year, I think it's the most sophisticated, simple, but important books I've ever read. It's called The Motive.
Sure.
By Patrick Lencioni.
Sure.
And the book basically poses this question: what type of leader are you? And there's two types of leaders. There's the reward-centered leader, and there's the responsibility-centered leader.
Yeah.
And when I read the book, and towards the end, he was noting all of the signs of someone who's reward-centered, I was like,
Sure.
that's me.
Sure.
And it was the
Sure.
biggest, it was the hardest pill to swallow that,
Sure.
for me ever. But it really got me to get down to, in leadership, and I guess really it extends to many things. Why are you there? Because I think, and you mentioned it earlier about not having this AIC, this auditor in charge thing, be the value, but you being the value.
100%.
And when you get into being a leader, and that's why I haven't talked about leadership in a while or thought about it, but I don't like to because I don't see leadership as something you gun for. I see it as a byproduct. They'll choose who to follow.
Sure. That's so
If
good.
you give the value,
Sure.
if you show who you are,
Oh, so good.
maybe you're a leader, maybe you're not.
You're not. So good. Sure.
You know.
That is a heavy. No, 100%. And people don't get it. Like silly things where you're fighting for people to follow you. Yeah. They'll give you that title, but they still wouldn't follow you because there's nothing to follow.
There's nothing
What's
to follow.
there to give? And in essence, for me, I know leadership has been so complex, this and that, but it just goes down to, are you able to serve? You know what I mean? Yes, you want people to follow you, but are you able to serve? Because if you don't have a heart to serve, you are not able to take people to a place where you've never been. Because now people want you, okay, I'm a leader, but you can't go past me. They want to gatekeep and cause a limitation because I took you here. What do you mean you want to be better? Being a leader is ensuring people get to a place that they themselves have never been, that you also have never been. The current leadership that I'm under, it's so phenomenal because everything that I get to do, they allow me the space to think and apply in my mind. Because majority of the leaders, like, I've been an audit partner for years. You have no way you're going to tell me let's change the strategy. Now, it's been working and it's going to cost more budget. The leader that doesn't even care about the budget because he's selling trust. Anyone who needs to look at those financials, they need to make sure that is what is there. So you can't be looking at, you're going to be spending more time trying to fix this and that. And the fact that he gives so much feedback to me, it caused me to tap into a part of my life that I didn't think existed. The fact that now, I'll tell you, 2 years ago, I'd look for 4:30 on my phone like this. And then I'm like, done. Let's go home, start something else. Yeah. The past 2 weeks, I've been leaving the office at 6. Yeah. No one's asking me. Yeah. It's just the people that I'm working with. They've poured their heart to me so much that I want to see through their vision. I want to assist them fulfill their vision. I'm not counting, I have overtime of 2 hours. No ways. And it should be like that. That's why it's not a burden, because I understand I'm valued. They give me feedback so much. We love how you do stuff. And that's why now we have this AIC issue. Yeah. Because I showed up and did what was supposed to be done. And not that I had to sit and be like, I'm a third year, I have APC, now they must pick me. I'm better than somebody else. Yeah. Okay, guys, we all know there are guys who don't have APC at work, but they are, oh my God, so brilliant. They are, guys, they are so, I could literally be like, SAICA, what are you doing? These guys are so brilliant. And someone's going to, by virtue of having APC, you feel like you're the star of the show. Well, this is what also the CA thing is doing. Yes, CA is powerful, guys. But it's what you do with the designation. We could both be CAs and do different things. What do you do with what's been given to you? I know I've said a mouthful, but
I loved it.
Passionate about leadership, mainly because I've seen it. And I've seen the type of people who follow me, and sometimes I always have to take a step back. I'm like, why are you following me? Like, even a lot of people ask, can you mentor me? I'm like, why? Why me? Why not this other lady? If you don't know me and where I'm going and what I want and how I could help you, because you don't have to go to where I'm going. Yeah. You don't have to sound like I'm speaking. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you don't know you yourself and the things that you want from me, well, it's just a matter of association. I'm seen with Oyena. You're not gonna get anywhere with that.
That was actually perfect, because I was curious about your take on mentorship, because even me personally, I'll be transparent. Like, I know I'm at a stage where my heart is ready for a mentor. But I don't know if I've found anyone yet that fits. I guess what you're talking about, that fits me. Because a mentor is someone that it's not someone that's there to give you advice.
100%.
It's someone who's there to look at you, who's maybe 5-10 years before him, and say, okay, here's the diagnosis. here are maybe some things that you can aim for, maybe some advice here and there.
Yeah.
But what's been your experience? Who are your mentors? What has been your mentorship journey? Because I know, and we'll segue into Young Professionals Hub just now. You have that experience in mentorship and whatnot.
Sure, Alunga. My journey has been so unique. I struggled with this whole concept of mentorship a lot. From when I was young, get a mentor, get this. I was like, why? Why are we doing that?
I've struggled for so long.
I really struggled. It's only up until this year that I've tapped into being mentored. For all my life, never had a formal mentor. I had a belief, which I still stand by, that you can draw so many aspirations from so many people without you formally creating that relationship. So I was banking on that.
Okay.
A lot through books, a lot through watching people, observing people, having those conversations with people. I used to call it shoot your shot, knock on people's door and ask for advice. I believed so much in that, and it worked for me, right? But now I'm at a stage where in my life I'm like you, I'm actually think I'm ready. I think I'm in a good space. And when you're at that space, you're actually going to be able to pick your mentors well. You must pick your mentors. There's what you call a mentor and sponsor. A sponsor you don't necessarily pick. They see you and they want to sponsor you. That is absolutely amazing. They like the work you do. They're like, how do I help you? I want to take you to where you want to go. That's a sponsorship. But a mentorship, you're like, I see where you're going. I see how you think. I need that insight to take what I have now to that space, like you're saying. And now if you don't know yourself and you don't know the other person, it won't work, right? So I'm pivoting that. It's quite early now that I'm being mentored. It's one thing being a mentor and being mentored. So I'm like, okay, I don't need to have 10 million mentors at the same time, because you need to manage those relationships for you to draw so many things out of them. For example, my CEO, he doesn't know this, but he's my mentor. Every month, I make it a plan that I pass by his office. Hi, I'm just greeting. And he's like, come through. Oh my God. The last time we chatted, he talked about 2 different types of bird. An eagle and a normal bird. I think it's a swallow, a normal bird. He's like, what type of bird do you want to be? I was like, why are you asking me that? It's like, no, because we were talking about life post articles. And I'm like, oh, maybe this. He's like, no, tell me. What type of bird do you want to be? And then he's like, I'll describe the characteristics of an eagle and I'll describe the characteristics of this bird. And after that, I was like, I want to be an eagle. I was like, okay, then be an eagle. It was everything I needed at that time, because now I'm complicating this whole thing. I'm like, I feel like I'm too young. I'm inexperienced. No. What do you want? Gun for what you want. You have this and that. This is support you. I was like, okay, we're done. Let me go home. Literally. And I know that this is how I get mentored by him. The other time he just talked about, he was like, there's no shortcut to greatness. I was like, are you talking to me? Am I trying to be great before time? It's like, nah, there's no shortcut to greatness. You're seeing great people now. It was not easy. Don't think you're going to wake up the following day and be great. So you find ways of, is this mentorship relationship working for me? Because now if I decide, hey, Bonga, can I have a normal mentorship and make it formal? Perhaps it's not going to work. He's a CEO, for goodness sake. He perhaps may not have time. So I'm finding a strategic way to observe everything from him to make sure I take as much. And then there's a mentorship where it's formal. Tuto, she's the head of advisory. One, I like her personality. The female who's so confident in herself, even at that level, and even when she has not looked down on people who are growing at the office, probably. I'm like, I see myself being that person. And if I need to know, how did you pivot from audit to advisory? She would tell me. She's like, take the skills in audit, you're going to apply it in advisory. So I can't go, it was a struggle to go to an audit partner, because an audit partner is like, there's nothing more in life than being an audit partner. So they're going to channel my thoughts around being an audit partner, and I'm going to buy into it. Even with her, she knows my aspiration, but there's never a time where she's like, actually come to my department. No. She's like, which door do you want me to open for you? Who do you want me to speak to for you on your behalf? She's allowing me to tap into that. Recently, she's given me a homework. I'm not far-fetched in my thought. I like to only think 12 months ahead. She's asked me to write a 5-year plan.
A 5-year plan. Before this, have you ever written a 3-year plan?
I do a 12 months plan. I'm like, no, it's just like 5-year plan. She says, I'm going to stretch it if I'm going to ask you for a 10, but I eventually I'm going to ask for a 10-year plan. She's like, don't give me the nitty-gritty details of the plan, but where do you see yourself? What are you doing in 5 years' time? Are you an entrepreneur full-time? Are you in a corporate? Are you growing your corporate space? Where are you in your family life, in your friendship life? Give me a holistic approach, and we'll need to find a plan to get you there. Because you won't get to 5 years by not planning from today, so that you don't find yourself distracted by doing things that are not going to take you there. You know, the opportunities that are going to come, there shouldn't be anything and everything. You know, I always say, I don't attend all corporate events, and people don't believe that. It's good, but I know where I'm going. I can't be attending all corporate events that are happening in South Africa. You know, I can't be saying yes to everything. Does it align with what I do? I'll tell you, this stays between us. I don't say yes to all podcast invites. You know, because I'm like, I'm not going to add value to your listeners, you know, and why your whole thing, it doesn't really align. Exactly. So it's not every opportunity you get to say yes to. So I know I diverted a bit, but it just links to mentorship, being mentoring, and also mentoring other people. I don't take everybody. I don't have the capacity to be like, hi guys, I want to come mentor you. It would just dawn on me that I have time on my hands, because why am I calling the entire world and I'm like, hi guys, I want to mentor you? Because I know what mentorship calls from a person. It calls time. The fact that I get to sit with my mentor for an hour, it's time out of their diary. They could be anywhere else in the world, but they're pouring onto me. I also want to make sure that if I'm mentoring anybody, I'm pouring into that person.
There needs to be alignment.
100%.
I think if aspiring CAs take anything from this, it's that don't just be out seeking mentorship.
No.
Don't.
No.
I think for one, you must first know yourself. I think like know thyself. That's what Aristotle said.
Yeah.
Before you even touch this idea of mentorship.
Yeah.
And then know your mentor. Because now if he's a partner and you don't see yourself, you've gone inside and you know, I don't necessarily want to be a partner.
100%.
And then you want to go to him for mentorship.
Yeah.
You don't even know that this person's going to lead you to a path that's not in line.
Sure.
So it's like know yourself, know your mentor, and then make sure that there's alignment.
Yes, to just close that gap. Because if you don't know yourself, you don't know what you need. I know my weakness. So I know, okay, there's this shortfall that I have in this area. I need to not be defensive about it. I need to work on it. I don't like it, but I need to work on it. You know, like when I was talking about getting to people's thoughts, like sometimes if I could work with people who think as quick as I think, life would be easy. Like who grasp things and work the way that I want. But now I need to create room for differences. And sometimes it's like, okay, exercise more patience. Be more kind. This person is thinking like this because this is their experience. And then now you know how they're thinking and how you want them to think. And you try to say, I hear you, but look at it this way. And then they buy into it because you've heard them. And then, you know, so it's been like, oh, exercise more patience, exercise. And I speak to myself, exercise more patience, be calm. You know, and those is I know when I'm like I'm struggling, I'll ask someone else, okay, please speak. Maybe they'll hear you better. Because now I'm coming with a knife and I'm like, get things done. And you can't be a person like that all the time. You need to give room to people. And sometimes even if you know this is a bad mistake, let them, you know, just be a person like, okay, let them actually see it, that it wasn't such a good choice. And then they do, and you're like, okay, guys, let's try then this other plan.
I mean, I'm even hearing you mentoring yourself in some ways. Because now when you know yourself, you know, like, okay, hey, Alunga, you're doing too much here. You know, okay, relax there.
Calm down.
Not everyone's on your wavelength right now.
100%.
Not everyone's thinking the things you're thinking, type of thing.
Self-awareness.
Last thing, briefly.
Yeah.
Young Professionals Hub. Your hub.
Yeah, that baby.
What is that baby, Young Professionals Hub? And also, how can aspiring CAs maybe tap into it?
Yeah, no. that baby it's causing me sleepless nights lately. So it was born out of just having many young professionals reaching out to me. Hey, and I'm inspired by your journey. And how do you go around networking? How do you build relationships? How do you stand up for yourself? How do you set boundaries at work? So I'd find myself repeating all of those things to different people. So I was like, come on, why not just bring all these guys in one space? So ideally, that was that. And the fact that many of them don't have like friends or colleagues, or their discipline doesn't have all of these events. So you're creating a space for them to have that without tapping out of the discipline itself, but still be an internal auditor who's just having this opportunity to network and grow those skills. So secondary, it was that. Thirdly, it was all of these soft skills that people aren't exposed to. So ideally, we are building courses of that nature, leadership thing. So it's more going to be so practical that it's not just going to be theory dump that you can get from YouTube. You know, if you could get it in how to be a leader, and then YouTube's going to give you that.
You could post it on your channel.
Listen, you know. So I want to just take everybody through those courses, you know, those programs where practically when you are in the situation, like conversations like these we're having, I don't get to speak to at a larger scale now. So when you teach, coach, and allow people to run those courses, see themselves, self-awareness, and how to speak, and all of those things, which are going to help them in their respective spaces. And then within the hub, we've now created sub-hubs. So each industry will find its people. Yes, we all come from different industries, but now we're going to have smaller rooms where you can still find your people, even if you are part of a bigger group. So from next year, we are going to be taking premium membership, where it's premium content, and then normal membership, where you'll just be access to whatever events that we have. And then premium membership will have like certain courses, certain privileges. We're going to travel a lot, you know. What I didn't get when I was young, and I'm hoping to give to the young ones, where if we have to take you through overseas, I'll take you along. Sure. Awards for the members of the club, what have you been doing in the year? And we recognize that work. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you should exactly know what's happening. We're just doing the groundwork now. We're sure to go.
And if you're not following her, profile will be linked in the show notes. But that is so interesting, you know, bringing people, because I think when you're in varsity, you're not thinking about professional skills.
No.
You like most of the time.
No.
People aren't doing things like, you know, joining our young professionals hub, or going and attending seminars on networking and personal branding and all those things that I'm sure you're discussing in your thing. And so you enter the working world, and then there's this gap.
Sure.
There's a huge gap.
100%.
A huge gap
100%.
that's actually a lot more vast than you think. Like, I mean, remember when you were an undergrad, you thought, it's just cram. And then you get to CTA. CTA, that's why the profession is so good. CTA is that.
Yes. You're not there yet.
You're not there yet. And then ITC will say, okay.
Yeah, good to
let's
go.
Let's just get a quick stamp.
Yeah,
I think Young Professionals Hub is similar in that it can provide you those. And if you look at the 3-pronged model of the CA of 2025, you have your technical competencies, your enabling competencies, and your professional attitudes.
Yes.
Your professional values and attitudes.
It's important.
This is where you get a Young Professionals Hub.
100%.
You see?
Yeah.
Oyena, crystal ball. We're looking into a crystal ball, and we can see Oyena of the past. First year, second year, maybe even high school you. What would you tell her?
Oh, golden question. I always ask people this question. I never thought anyone would ask me this question. I tell her not to dim her light. I think this is quite a personal thing for me, because at that age, I had sight that I'm going to be great, but I didn't have support. And to an extent that those who were able to see the light actually dimmed it, and which enabled me to take a step back. So I'd say actually be proud that you're excellent, that you can think, you can reason, you can speak for yourself. Secondly, you're going to make it. You know, it is going to be tough. I think I didn't think life was going to be tough. As a result, I thought toughness meant you're not on the right path. So don't think when it gets tough, change the route. No need to reroute. Stay on the path. Don't reroute. Stay on the path.
Don't dim your light.
Don't dim your light.
Stay on the road.
Stay on the road.
Stay on the road.
Stay on the
You're
road.
here today. Guys. Oh, please, please. Follow this. If you're listening to this, you would be listening to this. Guys, go and follow Oyena on LinkedIn. Go send a connection request. Go and check out the Young Professionals Hub. It'll be linked in the show notes.
Yeah.
Check out our YouTube as well. That'll also be
Yes.
linked in the show notes.
Yeah.
Man, this was absolutely fantastic. I hope it does not end,
I hope it doesn't too.
but that it begins
It surely.
in CASA.
Boop, 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 boop.
Oyena, thank you so much.
This was amazing. So refreshing. Thank you for having me.